Hey guys, I'm very excited. I just gotten done doing a video, and then I went out to the back porch and found this package from Play.com. I just went and ordered the Hockey Blast board game to try that out. Thanks to Steve Tower and Al Wilson for putting those videos out on YouTube and piquing my interest in the game. So I'm going to try it out. Like I said, it did come very quickly, priority 2-day mail, so props to Pete Ventura and his company for getting this out here quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up and see what everything looks like and show everybody what you get when you make the order through Play.com. And you do get, like I said, fast shipping. So let me pause this and get this box opened up and see what we can do here. Okay, so I had to actually pause it while I opened the box because I didn't have a free hand since I'm holding the camera with one hand. But I'm getting ready to pull it out of the box now, and you can see how well packaged this is with the bubble wrap and how well protective it is. Get a nice little intro letter here. It says, here's your copy of Hockey Blast along with the 14-15 season cards. Everything you need to know in the game is outlined in the instructions, which are included as a separate booklet. Please use care when separating the cards. I found it works best to fold along the perforated lines first and then separate the cards. Number of free resources on the Play.com website. And I do encourage you, if you do get a Play.com game, to go to the website because there's a lot of free stuff on there. And I think I'm going to, I've already downloaded, in anticipation of the game getting here, I've already downloaded the extra hockey rinks that Al Wilson and Steve Tower put out there on the free site. I'm also a subscriber to their newsletter. The newsletter just came out today. Actually, just got it in the email. And Keith Avalone, personally signed letter there again, thanking me for the purchase, and email thanking me for the purchase. So Keith, definitely appreciate that. And I'm going to see if I can expand my board gaming beyond just playing baseball games, and I'm going to try it with the hockey game. So we'll put this back in the box here, and let's pull this out. And we see here, oops, thanks again for your purchase from Play.com. See, we've got the player cards here, and this is giving you the roster sheet, I believe. Oh, I'm sorry, the standing sheet from the game. But the star of the game is in the middle of this plastic here. I can free up one hand and get this out at the same time. And as Al Wilson, I believe, mentioned on an earlier video, the new boxes that these come in are really nice. The previous ones, the boxes were plain and the labels you had to peel on yourself, and they were not. They're good, but they're not. They can get a little weary on the corners and so forth, and they take up a little bit more space. In fact, if you hold 1 second, I'm going to get the Play.com History Maker game, which was in the old box, and compare it. Okay, you can see the width difference in the two games, the Hockey Blast game and the History Maker game. You can see that the new boxes that these games come in now are much, much thinner, and I think they'll rest easier and they actually look better on the on your bookcase or bookshelf where you keep these things. Now, granted, my copy of the History Maker Baseball is filled with a lot of things, so that's what's making this kind of peek out a little bit. But you can see it's starting to fray a little bit on the corners here and so forth. So I do think, and test of time will bear this out hopefully, that the newer box, the way it's designed and so forth, I really like it. And I think it's going to be sturdier and hold up better over time. We shall see. So when we take off the lid, we've got everything again is well packaged in plastic, well protected. Really impressed with the way this is packaged. And if I remember correctly, History Maker Baseball was the same way. Although it's been almost a year since I bought that now. So we'll pull everything out here and see what we've got. Remember, I'm holding the camera with one hand and doing everything else with the other, so we'll see. It's not going to be as nice and neat as other videos might be. But anyway, here is what comes with the game. And like I said, I did order, or not order, but I did download the from the free site, the other things. Now here are the player cards that actually came with the game if you didn't buy the season sets. And this looks like 2010, 2011. We've got the Boston Bruins, the Vancouver Canucks. Let's see who else is in here. We've got the 2012 LA Kings and New Jersey Devils. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm not a big hockey aficionado, although I watch it from time to time. It looks like these are the Stanley Cup playoff teams for those 2 years. I could be wrong. I didn't look it up. I know that Kings played the Devils in one of the Stanley Cups. I'm not sure about the Bruins and Vancouver, although that sounds like that probably was the case. That's probably why they were included. I don't know why else they would have been included. So we've got that. So if you don't order the season like I did, you at least have those to go by. And we've got our dice and our markers that came here. And then we've got, it looks like here, we got the score sheet. So we've got our score sheet. And like I said, the folks, Al Wilson and Steve Tower, put out their own versions, so I may download those as well. But I may go ahead and stick with this just initially, just to get a game in, just to see how it plays. And here's some frequently asked questions on the rule book about momentum, lulls, and penalties. So that'll be good to reference if I need it. Here's some generic players. I'm not sure what they're used for per se. I'll have to read on the book and find out about that. And let's see here. We've got, looks like strategy cards where we could use cheap shots. You can force a lull. You can maybe gain momentum. I'll have to do some reading on that, but that looks like the equivalent of History Maker Baseball Manager cards. Just my guess. We have the instruction book, so I of course have to go through that and read all about that. And then you've got the playbook, and again, it's very nice quality spiral binding. This looks like this would hold up very well after numerous amounts of playing time. So we open this up here, and we've got it looks like your normal minutes. If I remember from the videos, this is where you do most of your results from, and then we go to the other charts, whether it be face-off charts, play charts, goal save charts, and so forth. And then there's power minutes when the team's on a power play, so that looks kind of neat. And again, the face-off and goalie charts associated with the power play charts, where it looks like these two things are side by side, so you're not doing a whole lot of flipping. Then we have empty net minutes, when there's rare occasions when there's going to be empty net. And of course, the associated chart that goes with that, so they're all on the same page there. We've got our unusual penalties, which is kind of reminiscent of the unusual play chart in History Maker Baseball. We've got our fight charts. We've got our penalty events. Got a goal review. So apparently there's some parts in there that where it says it might be a goal and it might not, depending on the review of the officials. So we'll see on that. I don't remember seeing anything about that in any of the videos that were done by Al or Steve. I don't guess that came up in their play, but that could be interesting. Then you've got injuries and equipment problems that can come up. Breaking sticks, losing skater's edge, different things like that. So that's kind of interesting. Behavior issues. That kind of reminds me a little bit of the History Maker Baseball with the mood chart and the chemistry and so forth. So this talks about, right here it says, visitor higher penalty player called for attempting to injure, given a match penalty. So that's kind of interesting. Then we've got odd goals about maybe pucks caroming off of defenders or off of skates and so forth. You got a rare result chart. We've got optional charts here and so forth. And then it's an injury code key that tells you, depending on the injury, what the result is from that. So all in all, and there's the basic hockey board. It's a standard size sheet of paper. Remember, the player cards are very small when you cut them out, or when you unperforate them, I guess is the word for it. So I'm looking forward to taking a break from my baseball games for a little bit, or at least for a little bit of time, to try to get into this game and read up on this. I'm going to have to do that before I attempt anything. I think it's better for me to read through all the instructions. Sometimes I get ahead of myself, but I think it's better if I read through all the instructions before I even attempt to set up a game. But I will do that and see how that goes. If I get comfortable with it, maybe one of these days I'll do a video on this game, although really there may not be any need to, since this game is very well covered by Steve Tower and Al Wilson in their videos. So there's not anything I can do on my videos that would be anything equal to, or certainly not better than what they did. So I may this may just be a something I just do for myself, just to be different and give me a break and give me something to take a break from the baseball games for a little bit and just do something different. And this might even get me more interested in hockey. You never know. I live in Virginia, so we do get the Washington Capitol games a lot on TV, and then of course NBC Sports Network and the Hockey Network show a lot of the games as well. But we kind of get force-fed, if you want to call it, the Capitals, since they are the closest team. And I do enjoy their broadcast, and they do get to play a lot of teams in the Eastern Division, the Rangers, the Bruins, and the Flyers, and so forth. So they're kind of interesting to watch. I admittedly don't follow a whole lot of the West Coast hockey teams at all to know that much about them. Growing up, my favorite team was the Montreal Canadiens. I just liked the way their names sounded, I liked their uniforms and so forth. So I'm still kind of following, if I follow anybody at all, I follow the Canadiens. And as a matter of fact, Epix, the movie channel, Epix, is doing a series on the countdown to the Winter Classic, which it looks like this year is going to be played, from what I understand, at Fenway Park. They're going to be doing the Bruins and the Canadiens. At least I think it's at Fenway Park. I can't imagine it being in Montreal. I would think it would be at Fenway Park. And Epix is doing a series on, I believe it's about a 5 or 6 part series at least on that. They did it last year on the Blackhawks and the Capitals, and that was interesting. So I'm learning a lot just by watching the backgrounds of what the players go through in their daily routine, and maybe what some of the things are said in the locker room and on the bench and so forth. So I'm really looking forward to playing this and maybe expanding my interest in the sport of hockey itself. So I'm really looking forward to this. The components all look great. Like I said, I can't wait to get everything all set up and get to where I know what I'm doing and play this thing out. And I got a feeling that I'm going to be able to get into this game, and the learning curve is going to be a lot less than the than the Stratomatic hockey game I bought. I still may go back to that eventually, but I think as far as out of the box and so forth, it looks like this game is going to be something that will be much more easier to get into and get flowing and get started. And so I'm looking forward to that. And so I understand that I do, it's a baseball demo channel and so forth, but wanted to give a shout out to Keith for his product and his quality of his product, the quality of the shipping, and the speed of the shipping, and just for creating these games. It's just they're just so different than any other game because they don't use hardline statistics. They use ratings and qualities, and that's just a brilliant concept. And one of my favorite concepts of all the baseball games out there is the Decide or Die in History Maker Baseball. It's just such a wonderful concept. I don't know where he came up with that from, but it's brilliant, whatever it was, because it just adds so much to the baseball game. And if Hockey Blast is half as much fun as History Maker Baseball is, then I know I will enjoy myself and my entertainment dollar will be well spent. So I'm looking forward to that. And I just wanted to put that out there just for the heck of it, to be something different than what I usually put on this channel with all the baseball stuff on it. I'm still going through my 1969 World Series replay with all the different games. I've played 6 games so far and used 6 different baseball products. I don't have a 7th baseball product, so I'm going to have to go back and use one of the other games to finish off Game 7. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use yet. If I'm going to use History Maker Baseball, if I'm going to use Status Pro, if I'm going to use Payoff Pitch, or if I'm going to use Stratomatic or Replay. I've got those 5. The 6th one is the computer game Diamond Mine. I doubt I'll use that. I want to use a board game for the Game 7, so we'll see. I'll have to figure it out what I think will be best for that. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and start reading this book and get myself familiarized with it and see what I can do. Maybe I will put a video up. Maybe I'll do a amateur video on this because Steve and Al are kind of like pros at this game. So maybe I'll put one out as a learning curve rookie that might be in the place of somebody who's thinking about buying this game and wondering how a newbie would do it. So I might do something like that, and without all the extra accoutrements that you can download, I might just play it basically out of the box type of version, see how that goes. I'm looking forward to it, and since I'm on vacation this week after Christmas, this gives me time to do that, so I'm looking forward to it, and I'll check in with everybody later.